ESPNOnline.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
It's another milestone, it feels like, in this crazy time. We've actually made it to a Razorback game week. You want to let that sink in for a moment? Just let that sink in for a moment here. SmackDown, Matty T, Phil Elson. Well, we haven't done it yet. We haven't made it, to any sort of finish line or even the start line quite yet, SmackDown, although we are certainly approaching it. And finally, within the set of at least 7 days, here we are. Now we're 5 days away from the start of the Arkansas football season and the rest of the SEC, so we can finally join the fun that I guess we've been enjoying for the most part of the last couple of weeks as the ACC and the Big 12 have staggered towards the start of their seasons. And, you do have plenty of postponements, cancellations, and the like. Everything right now for the top league in college football seems to be steadily moving along. And, one thing you can always tell when it's finally game week, SmackDown, you got odds. We got game odds now finally out. Everybody's been wondering, what's the odds going to be for Arkansas's opener against Georgia? You can only make a few guesses here and there. Well, now here it is. And I haven't looked at the line since earlier this morning. I wonder if it's moved much from 25 points for Arkansas to be an underdog. And, that isn't even the biggest – that isn't even one of the two biggest lines in the SEC to start the season. And admittedly, you don't have the most interesting games to begin this year's conference season with 10 conference games. But here's and I think the SEC schedulers knew what they were doing when they did this, SmackDown. You don't need any of the marquee SEC matchups to now, be excited to treat it like it's a marquee matchup, because now we finally will have SEC football at the end of the month of September. And in a normal situation, we'd have been 3 games into the season. This would have been Texas A&M week. You would have already played against Notre Dame. You would now be talking about those marquee games. Who cares about marquee games this first weekend of the season? We just get SEC football. For me, just seeing the Hogs on the field, as I will be representing our fine, call it a journalistic media outlet, maybe just a media outlet. I'll be representing us at the game on Saturday. So I'm just excited to be there, see the Hogs in person. Don't have to worry about what's going on in practice. Now we can actually see what's happening in the game Saturday. And I'll tell you what, I am ready to watch and celebrate.
It's going to be fun. It's something we were talking this weekend. Went home to see my parents this weekend before we get really swamped busy up here, which we just had our little Monday meeting and getting our programming situated out. And we got a busy weekend here on ESPN Arkansas between our pregame and postgame shows, the IMG, everything that we're going to be having for you here on hitthatline.com and ESPN Arkansas. We got you covered all weekend. I'm like you. I'm ready to get this thing started. It feels like we've been waiting for this for years. And I know it's only been 6 months, but you had the delayed start. Right now we should be getting ready for the Texas A&M game down in Dallas, and my mom is not a happy camper right now that we're not getting our bags packed and tickets ready to go to Dallas this weekend. But like you, everybody's just pumped up, and you're right. It'd be nice to have that big marquee game to SEC's back this weekend. It's Auburn versus Georgia to kick off the SEC schedule or something like that.
Mama SmackDown needs to really just don't worry about what's not happening. Plan on what is happening. And, folks, SmackDown
Absolutely.
Sent me a text this weekend on a plan that he's got for next month going back to Arlington. I'll tell you what, I'd rather be on that road trip
we
with
can talk
you
about that.
And hopefully the parents than going to, another heartbreaking Arkansas loss at Jerry World. And I guess
Absolutely.
Let's bring that up in 3 Up, 3 Down, because I got to tell you what, that sounds like a road trip that I could get in on.
That's going to be fun.
Maybe we get a sponsor and, all that kind of stuff. Maybe I'll actually join you on it.
Just wait up. But, yeah, we're pumped up, and I think everybody else is pumped up too. They're ready for particularly the SEC normalcy to come back. You got fall football's coming back. You've seen every other conference do it, and everything's to this point's been successful. You've had the few little minor hiccups. You had Houston and Baylor get delayed or get postponed, for COVID reasons. You had Arkansas State and UCA happen. But as far as the grand scheme of things, everything's been fairly smooth so far between the conferences that are playing right now. And you're fixing to have the big boys come back.
I know that Baylor-Houston game was one that we had for our picks, but obviously couldn't happen. Like, I would hate to be the Kansas Jayhawks this week. Not because of anything that Baylor might do to them, but they're the fourth or the fifth opponent that Baylor's had to plan for at some point in this offseason, but has had, COVID-related issues on the other teams, or, I know they're supposed to open against Ole Miss, and obviously that didn't happen with the way that the schedules changed up. But, yeah, I wouldn't want to be Kansas. It's kind of like Spinal Tap's drummer, the guy who always would spontaneously combust. Or, hey, wasn't there a string of drummers for Led Zeppelin that died, from just being a rock star?
Well,
that seems to be what's up with Kansas right now. With Baylor opponents.
One of them choked on vomit. They're not sure whose vomit it was.
Yeah. It's a very early 1970s rock and roll star way to go, isn't it, Matty T? There are like 3 or 4 of them that did
AC/DC, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix, that's right. So, it's been interesting because we have had football to watch, not just on TV, but you could head out Friday night and watch a high school football game if you so wanted to. And by the way, how about those Arkansas high schools over the weekend against Tejas? Yeah, something to talk about later with Nate Olson. Natural State did a little butt kicking of Lone Star State over the weekend. That's something that we can all stand up and give a rousing round of applause for.
And not just that. I know it's a sensitive subject for everybody except if you're that one school in Central Arkansas, but Pulaski Academy took care of business against, I forget, the Tristan Brothers School, I believe is what the school is called in
I usually find that
Life
if the word
Christian,
brothers.
Life Christian in Virginia.
Okay.
Bentonville's beat a pair of Kansas schools this season. Greenwood picked up a big victory against Choctaw, Oklahoma this weekend. And that's one thing I really want to ask Nate, because he mentioned that last week when he was here with us here on halftime. The trajectory of high school football in the state of Arkansas. You say what you will. We think it's good. It could be better, particularly in Central Arkansas. You beat 4 of the best schools, 4 of some really top-notch schools across other states.
You've heard what everybody says about Arkansas football.
Absolutely.
Not just the folks who are from outside the state, like Mike Griffith, the guy from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, who kind of, did a death dance on Arkansas football talent, essentially, when he joined the show a couple of weeks ago. Even folks from inside the state say, look, it doesn't quite have the same talent level as the other states that surround us. But then again, you go up and you whoop on good Texas teams.
Really good Texas teams.
I wonder if that's what a shoe tastes like, or what a foot tastes like, right? I guess for a quick moment. But while we've had all these games to watch, and, I've watched plenty of college football. I've had the NFL on almost every Sunday. We'll be watching again tonight. You still have been on the outside looking in, like our team, hasn't been involved in it yet. Well, now we can finally get involved in it and maybe see some of the crazy stuff that we finally get to see in the football season, like what happened yesterday. Like, I know that there was, some huge comeback by Navy on Saturday, and a couple of good games here and there. Yesterday's NFL games
which
one? Exactly, like which one? And that makes me wonder, like, what the heck is going to happen tonight at the debut of the Roomba in Las Vegas? You had comebacks galore. There was injury after injury, but incredible performances by quarterbacks. The one of the weirdest onside kicks of all time. Which, by the way, we've got to play that in the next segment because
we got the sound ready to go.
It's so nice to know that here on a Monday SmackDown, we don't have to worry about the next 4 days to find us an Alexander Dumas of the week, because I think we've got like 4 or 5 of them wearing Falcons jerseys from yesterday's incredible Cowboys comeback.
Hey, that's fine with me. Cowboys got the W. That's all that matters. You brought up injury. This just came up on my phone and really sucks if you're a Giants fan out there. Saquon Barkley, they've officially announced, has a torn ACL, and he was out for the remainder of the season.
That's terrible. You had him. You had 3 stars from the 49ers go down.
Jimmy
Bosa,
G was out,
Garoppolo goes down. Broncos lose their starting quarterback for who knows how long. But, you see Saquon Barkley get carted off the field, and you're thinking, goodness, that was supposed to be one of the future
That's your young
stars.
stud
Right
of the
now,
league.
a big
Absolutely.
star of the entire league, and obviously not going to happen. Your calls and texts throughout the show. We'll be joined by Quinn Grovey at 12:30, Nate Olson at 12, and Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South at 11:30. As I guess we count it down backwards. And your calls and texts throughout the show at 877-377-6963. Should be a fun segment after the break because we've got our Alexander Dumas of the week. They wear Falcons jerseys. It was the stupidest thing you could see on a football field. Know the rules. Right back after the break.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
Your home for every Razorback football game.
College to midfield, the 40, the 30, College at the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Arkansas!
As you can tell, this means a lot,
Only on ESPN 95.3.
Miss Anna's on Towson is quickly becoming one of Fort Smith's favorite haunts. We're now serving breakfast from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Blue Plate specials served Monday through Friday. And don't forget about 99-cent Pie Tuesday. So whether you're craving some of our great kickin' chicken or one of our world-famous desserts, Miss Anna's is the place to be. 5001 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, 649-6300. That's 649-6300.
Hey, this is David Owen with Washita Farms. We grow hemp in Central Arkansas and process it into full-spectrum CBD products. Washita Farms products are affordably priced and available online or conveniently located at nearly 200 stores across the state. All Washita Farms CBD products are tested at C-Pill Labs in Little Rock to ensure that you will always get what you expect. Find us online today and use this code at checkout.
Washita Farms! Go to WashitaFarms.com and use code WPS15 at checkout of your purchase.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. It's a difficult time right now, and social distancing is vitally important. That's why I'm here to encourage you to keep running. It's a great way to exercise in solitude, build up your immune system, and keep from going stir-crazy. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more tips on how to take care of yourself during this time. And remember, just keep running. This has been brought to you by True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
We're now living in uncharted waters with the spread of COVID-19. With the partial closing of a lot of businesses, sadly, some will soon try and turn your possessions into their possessions. Guardtronic has been providing security for homes and businesses for over 60 years. Whether you need a camera system to keep an eye on things or a complete home security system, call Guardtronic 479-785-2323 or go online to guardtronic.com. We have so many worries these days, safety should not be one of them. License E50.
When the temperature starts heating up outside, it means summer is on its way. Let Pinnacle Telecom ease the heat with a brand new Name Your Speed promotion. That's right. Switch your business to Pinnacle's fast fiber internet and name your internet speed. Any speed, and pay just $50 per month for internet the first 3 months. If you're under contract with the other guys, no problem. Pinnacle will honor this promotion when your term is up. Check us out at pinnacletelecom.com. Offer ends soon. Some restrictions apply.
ESPN Arkansas and Brad's Home Entertainment next to Walmart and Mountain Home want to bring your old beat-up grill into the 21st century. Register to win a Traeger Ironwood 650 pellet grill loaded with Wi-Fi technology, which means you can control it with your phone. All of this valued at $1,199. Register at hitthatline.com and swing by Brad September 14th through the 26th and grab a free grill cover with any Traeger grill purchase from Brad's Home Entertainment, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Baseline drive. Sills feeds Joe left corner. Step back. 3 on the way from Isaiah. Perfect. Nothing but the bottom for Joe. And the Hogs are up 45-28.
I've been saying he's the best shooter in the country.
877-377-6963 for your calls and texts. I want to hear the opening lines for the SEC this weekend. Hogs are 25-point dogs. Over-under's 53. That's a tough one to go with.
I'll take the under.
A&M,
yeah.
Think so? A&M's got the highest margin for any favorite, minus 30.5 against the Vanderbilt Commodores. I mean, has there been any news about Vandy? I mean, not like you really go searching for it very much. Kentucky and Auburn, probably the best game of the weekend in the league. On the Plains, Auburn a 9-point favorite. That also is expected to be the lowest scoring game in the SEC. Vegas has an over-under of 47.5. Gators minus 12 at Ole Miss. 60 points over-under. That's the highest in the league. Mississippi State at LSU. Tigers favored 19.5. Bama's a 26-point favorite on the road at Mizzou. Tennessee and Carolina have the smallest margin. So minus 3, Tennessee favored with an over-under of 48. By the way, I just noticed this too. The closest opening spread in the country for any college football game this weekend is taking place in Jonesboro with Tulsa and Arkansas State. See, Tulsa almost surprised Oklahoma State over the weekend.
Yeah, that was a good game to watch. We were sitting at a restaurant watching it. It was, 16-7 was the final score, I believe?
Pretty rare defensive battle for a team involving the Big 12. A-State, by the way, favored by 1.5. So, yeah, that's I guess that's a pick 'em practically in these days. All right, hey, let's get to the phones here. It is game week. That means Eddie in Clarksville has the whistle going, what is it you're blowing today, Eddie? I'm not quite sure when you're talking about Coach Pittman, but whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be loud. How you doing?
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and thank you for taking my call today. Well, that's exactly right. There's a new conductor of this Hog Train's going to lead our football program out on that field Saturday afternoon. And my question is to this football team to compete in this game, it's going to be in the trenches. And I'm asking this offensive line, I asked it this morning, are you going to hold the line? Because if you do, unlike most, I believe you can compete in this game. One, you've got the quarterback that has experience against the Dogs. What a tenacious defense, and what an opportunity for a program to move up on that measuring stick. And so, come Saturday afternoon, that bell is going to be ringing. And I'm asking Clinton, Cunningham, Clary, Winkle, are you ready? Wake up on that line and make the block. Because if you do, we're going to be in this game. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely, Eddie. Appreciate that very much. Speaking of the offensive line, and I know Coach Pittman is supposed to speak to the media for a Zoom press conference right at 12 noon when we bring Nate on. One of the first things I'd like to know, and I don't know if, how he answers this question or not, has Ricky Stromberg returned to practice? Has Ty Clary returned to practice? These are expected to be, I know Stromberg is expected to be the starting center, and from my way of thinking, the way that Sam Pittman views that position, that means to me Ricky Stromberg is the best offensive lineman on this team, the most important offensive lineman on this team. I know he hadn't been practicing for a while, but he might have been expected to return. I'm interested to know if he is back, if he's practiced over the weekend, and if he will be at center for Arkansas against Georgia, because against that line, against that defensive line and that defense overall, SmackDown, if you don't have your best offensive lineman, if you don't have your starting center right there, I don't think you're going to be able to hang very tightly.
Well, that's what we've talked with several different people about. When you ask them, what's the number one spot, which Georgia's got talent all over the field. We know what they're capable of. And we've asked this to several people. Every one of them goes back to that Georgia defensive line, that you have to slow them down to eliminate the pass rush. And like you said, you've got to have your hogs up front. No pun intended. You got to have your men up front. And Hunter Yurachek was on the morning rush this past Friday, and I believe it was Ty that asked him. They were talking about the protocols that were getting put in place, if there was any players to be sat out. And we don't know what the situation is between Stromberg and who was the other gentleman the other player that's Ty Clary, if they're involved with that. But Ty asked Hunter Yurachek, if the Hogs were to play Saturday, would there be any players sitting out? And he was candid. He said yes, there would be a few players sitting out. And it all depends on believe they tested Sunday, Wednesday, and I believe the rapid test is this Friday. And I could be misspeaking on that. You might be able to confirm if I'm right or wrong. But you've got the players that are ready to go. And hopefully everybody keeps their head on straight, especially now with you got to have your men up front. Absolutely.
Yeah. Shane Clennon was taking the snaps with the first team at center last week. He's had some experience with 18 games, but again, I do think having Stromberg there is going to be a heck of a lot better than not having him there. So let's see here. What do we get into now after that call? You want to talk about this most ridiculous play yesterday in the Cowboys Falcons game? Like, I'm not quite sure how to put this. You have to give credit to the Cowboys for coming from behind. No doubt about it. You give credit for Dak for doing something that apparently no quarterback had ever done, throw for 400 yards and run for 3 touchdowns. You got to give credit where credit is due. I mean, any team that comes back from that much of a deficit, though, needs some help.
Absolutely.
From the team they're playing. And apparently no team really knows how to choke on big leads better than the Falcons. So now this is going to have to start to be called falconing, just the same way that, Clemson would lose games they're not supposed to lose. That was Clemsoning. They now win the games they're supposed to win all the time,
correct.
Just about. Falcons don't do that very much. So this is now becoming falconing, and this incredible onside kick, which SmackDown will play for you, is going to be, without question, our Dumas of the week.
So here we go. Dallas needs this without timeouts. Zerline, little squibber. It's got to go 10 yards, and it's close. Zerline may have come through. Who's got it? The Cowboys have it. Do you believe that?
You couldn't have kicked that thing any better.
There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the thing was just squibbing there, almost like someone was blowing on the ball to push it just a little bit further before we get to 10 yards. But then what about the idea of the Falcons did not need to wait 10 yards? Apparently nobody knew the rule, although Dan Quinn says they knew the rule. How do you know the rule but then not act upon knowing the rule? It was that simple. There were 5 of them standing around there close enough to the football where they could have read Goodell's signature. And all they did was just spit the ball. That's it. That's the stupidest thing I saw over the weekend. Nothing could come close.
Swazzy Hog on our YouTube page, and he's right because we talked about this morning. That onside kick play, I don't recall the exact name of what the play is called, but apparently Pulaski Academy runs a similar onside kick where the ball's just kind of sat down like that, and you almost side kick it, and then it just eventually spins right back into it. Yeah, you're right. I mean, so as a Cowboys fan, I'm glad the 5 Falcons just kind of had a brain fart and didn't want to jump on the ball. And just to tell you how bad of a Cowboys fan I am, guys, I missed the first half of the game because we had some family down visiting and different things like that, and I got a text message from my Saints friends that were like, the Cowboys suck again, and looked at the score, and it was 27-6. I was like, it's fine. It is what it is. Got back inside. We watched it. I think I left to head back to Fort Smith. It was 37-29, I think, or 39-30. That's what it was, with 5 minutes to go. I was like, there's no way the Cowboys are going to come back from 9 points down with the Falcons up and anything. And then I get a text message from, I think it was my grandpa. He's like, did you just see that? And I saw it. So I missed the whole ending of the ballgame. And I'm supposed to be the ultimate Cowboys fan of this whole operation here at ESPN Arkansas. And I missed it.
You're not supposed to give up on that, SmackDown. Come in. Maybe I should put you under the category.
How many times has the Cowboys actually came through on something positive like that, though?
I get it, but hey, when they play once a week and it's confined to a 3-hour window, I mean, you can at least strap yourself in for the entire 3 hours.
Right? Oh, trust me,
a little different than like being a Pittsburgh Pirates fan and like maybe investing 5 nights a week into watching the team blow leads and lose games by 1 run. Yeah, that'd be a little bit different than just 3 hours a week. I think you can put in the effort, my friend.
I accept the punishment.
Later on in the show, though, I will blow up the fellows who let that ball just go right through them, including, by the way, a guy who went to Yale. Like a Yale football player was one of those 5 Falcons that just let the ball spin around there. You would think that guy might actually know the rules, right? If you went to an Ivy League school, chances are you got a little more brain power than most of us. Then again, maybe you didn't read the rules properly. Do read the rules if you own a business that needs more security or needs more curb appeal. The Fence Man has a fence that can give you both. Just call them at 479-782-3936. They'll be there just like that for a quick, no-obligations quote. Nobody knows any better than the Fence Man because they've been doing it for over 40 years. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man is a division of Quantum Property Services. And right after the break, we're going to go around the SEC with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South. We will celebrate the resumption of the best college football league in America right after the break.
Goodyear believes in...
At Frank's Roll Furniture, everything is on sale. Why order when you can have it today? We carry refrigerators, French doors, GE washers and dryers, 100% made in USA, speed clean laundry, gas cold top and smooth top ranges, dishwashers, mattresses, recliners, big man recliners, lift chairs, sofa and loves, recliner sofa and loves, beds, chests, dresses, mirrors, nightstands, headboards, and table and chairs. Your one-stop store for all your furniture and appliances. Frank Roll Furniture, best seats in the house.
A little girl asked me one time, Pastor, does the devil have a mother? I was shocked by her deep question and thought for a second, yes, he does. Her name is pride. The devil fell because of a rebel yell of pride. The Bible says pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. Pride really is the mother of all sins and will take you on a dark ride. There's nothing more devilish than being rebellious. I'm Pastor Heath. Check us out at woodlandpeople.church.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Rath here, and I'm making it easy with discounts up to $4,300 on our great selection of Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and reconditioned in our Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, with used cars in short supply, I'll be giving up to $3,200 extra for trade-ins. Even if you're still making payments, we can help you get into your nicer, newer car now at Rath Auto Resources. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center. We've become one of the top centers in the country by taking care of our customers and their cars better than anyone over the last 9 years, and by offering great deals like buy 3, get 1 free on all tires and a basic oil change starting at only $24.95. Don't wait any longer. Make it a September to remember with a nicer, newer car from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Hey, this is Ted with Ed Walker's Drive-In. For more than 70 years, Ed Walker's has been the place to go for the best French dips and hand-patted hamburgers in town. Blue Plate Specials served Monday through Friday, and we're still the home of Fort Smith's only 5-pound hamburger. We're open 10 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickup, 783-3352. Ed Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
Divorce is never easy. Many times problems continue to arise long after the divorce is over. If you are dealing with a high conflict custody or visitation issue, you need an attorney that handles those specific type of cases. Call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners, able to handle high conflict custody cases all over the state of Arkansas and other states. Check out kevinhickeylaw.com or call 479-434-2414 in Fort Smith and 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
This is ESPN 95.3. Want more halftime? Make sure to listen to the Halftime Pod, presented by Jeff's Clubhouse, Fort Smith's premier place for lunch, brunch, and catering. Give them a call at 479-308-9123. The Halftime Pod is available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
All right, you guys, podcast time.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
All right, let's get into some SEC stuff with Saturday Down South's Connor O'Gara joining us every Monday right around this time. Connor, we're not at the finish line. We're not even really at the start line yet, but my gosh, we have been seeing this light at the end of however long this stupid tunnel has been for the last 6 months, and it's right there in front of us now. So finally, the rest of us across the SEC can join the fray. You know, if you're not Big Ten, if you're not Pac-12, you've been listening and watching high school. You've been watching some college games. The NFL's had 2 great weeks. We can now get in on the fun. My man, we made it.
We're here, and I'm going to admit that there were a lot of times throughout the past 6 months that I did not know if we'd get to this point. I really didn't. And call me pessimistic or whatever, but the more and more you kind of found out about this thing and how unpredictable it was. You see this amount of cases here, and the MLB can't even contain this, and how's this going to look? We're here, and that's all that matters. And Saturday from noon Eastern time, I realize you guys are Central time, so 11 a.m. Central to, I don't know, like probably 10 o'clock at night, we're going to have nothing but SEC football. And it feels so good to finally say that. It is. I have never wanted a season more than I do right now, and I just cannot wait till Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's 1 through 13. I'm not sure how many Vanderbilt fans are all that fired up right now, but I think 1 through 13, you're pretty fired up. You put it pretty succinctly in your in the column here to start things in the beginning of the season. I think more than anything else, what Arkansas fans are interested in seeing, other than the Hogs on the field, is what the trenches are like. And it's not even just a matter of going up against Georgia's line on both sides right now. It's how does this Arkansas, not just the offensive line, because they've been dominated on the line of scrimmage now for years, and that's when you'll have a sense if this program is maybe in the early stages of a turnaround, if they show that toughness on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And, man, I mean, you hit it right on the head.
I think that's the biggest thing that you're looking for if you're an Arkansas fan in week one. And obviously, you're going to be looking at things like, how is Felipe Franks doing with Kendall Browse's offense? Does Barry Odom look like he has a clue on defense? I think those things, obviously, those are going to be very popular topics of conversation in your neck of the woods. But I think it's boring, but it's in the trenches that really you're going to see how far this team has to go, because in terms of a front seven, there's none better in all of college football, in my opinion, than what they have there in Georgia. And that is the ultimate test week one to see how do you stack up against those guys, because it's not just that they have the big-time recruits, because guys like Nolan Smith and Nakobe Dean, they aren't necessarily even like, they're traditional starters in that offense or in that defense. It's the fact that they have so many of these established guys in the front seven who return. I mean, you have a guy like, Monty Rice or Malik Herring, these guys who could easily be in the NFL right now after playing for the number one scoring defense in the country, but instead they came back. So if you're an Arkansas fan, you're looking at this and you're saying, what does the protection look like against that front seven? How is Felipe Franks holding up? Does it look like there are running lanes that are being created for Raheem Boyd, or does everything look like he has to make a spectacular play? Those are the things that probably matter more in the long term than what the final score is going to say, because I'll be honest, I think it's going to be ugly, and I don't necessarily think it's going to be 52-0, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be close either. So you got to try and find the good in a game like this against a matchup that's about as difficult as it can get for week one.
I figure. I mean, you're going to have some pretty quick routes for Felipe Franks to throw on. This is a really exciting, talented, mostly young group of receivers, but I just don't know how much time Felipe is going to get to set up and look downfield. Now, on the other side, there's some drama's not the right word, but just intrigue as to who is going to start behind center for Georgia. And to be honest, I'm not sure if it really matters very much, because both JT Daniels and DeJuan Mathis are top-notch prospects. Daniels is already being looked at as a first-round pick for this upcoming draft. They got a great offensive line. So, I mean, we've asked that question. Which one of these guys is going to start? Does it even matter this week?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it matters a whole lot, just because I think no matter who starts, we're actually going to see a decent amount of this ground game in Todd Monken's offense. And that's been a very well-documented storyline this offseason in Athens, and understandably so. Georgia finally realizing, hey, we should probably modernize the offense if we actually want to reach a higher ceiling. And everybody's expecting Todd Monken to come in and throw a good amount, and I think he will. But I do think that early on, it's going to be a lot of Zamir White and James Cook, those two backs who have just been waiting for their turn behind DeAndre Swift and, you know, a couple years ago, Elijah Holyfield as well. So I think that they're going to want to run the ball a good amount to try to take advantage of that mismatch that they have up front. But keep in mind, you know, technically it's only one returning starter on that offensive line. And Trey Hill is a darn good center, and he's one of the best in all of college football, no doubt about it. But this is a very new-look offensive line that Georgia has. Yes, while it is talented and there are potential future stars, this is still week one, and this is still how are they going to be able to communicate? How is that going to look with Matt Luke coaching up that group, and you've got a new offense, and are there any sort of communication issues that Arkansas could potentially take advantage of? Because you're right. I mean, I do think that no matter who it is starting a quarterback for Georgia, I think that they're still going to have a significant advantage because of what they can do potentially in the ground game, but it'll be about maximizing on those potential mistakes.
Speaking of Connor O'Gara here on Halftime, Connor, is there any part of the Razorbacks game in your mind that can cause problems for this Georgia offense or defense? Obviously, you can't look over Arkansas. You can't look over any team just because literally anything can happen at any time. But is there a certain part of Arkansas that Georgia really needs to keep an eye on?
You know, the special teams aspect, I think, is interesting, right? Because Arkansas special teams has been, I mean, it's been terrible. Let's call it what it is. It's been, if Arkansas has been going viral in the last 2 years, I feel like it's been for a really bad special team mishap. I think that's the area where I just kind of wonder about how many reps these teams have been able to get throughout this offseason. If that's been kind of on the back burner, and now you bring in someone like Scott Fountain, who's respected in that area, and can he potentially take advantage of, you know, Georgia maybe not having that tackling down in the return game, or maybe there's you know, a miscue with a punt bobbled or something like that. That's the area where I think Arkansas has to dominate in order to even have a chance in this one, to be able to bust one loose in the return game, or maybe it's a fumble forced here or there. But I feel like that's where the playing field has sort of been leveled this offseason, with maybe less reps that have been able to be devoted to that area. And I think Arkansas will be improved in that area over time. But yeah, I mean, just lining up, I think Rakeem Boyd's in for a tough day just because of what that Georgia front can do to ground games, a group that only allowed 2 rushing touchdowns all of last year. And as great as Rakeem Boyd is, I think that's just asking an awful lot to put the entire game plan on his shoulders. So I think special teams is the area that maybe Arkansas can sneak up a little bit and hope to maybe bust one loose or force a fumble or get some sort of big play to swing the momentum.
One of those big ups. I mean, you talked about Georgia, and we know how talented Georgia is. I mean, we've mentioned them being the SEC East contenders, but one thing I want to phrase it this way: you released your 9 biggest upsets of the SEC this year on Saturday Down South. You have Georgia beating Alabama. What is it about? Is Georgia a legitimate SEC champion, you think, or is this it's just a kind of a one-time occurrence where they beat Alabama?
A little bit of the latter. I'll admit it. I think that everybody in the SEC gets tripped up at least once in the regular season this year. I just don't think that Alabama is going to be able to go 10-0 with this schedule and how grueling that could potentially be. And if we're talking about guys that are surprise quarantine, stuff like that, I just think it's going to be awfully difficult to get through the SEC to the conference title game unscathed. So if I'm looking at which game do I feel like can trip Alabama up, I do think it's that Georgia matchup and a defense that came back to beat Alabama. I mean, that's the hurdle that they've been working around, trying to get over. And I think so many of those guys, like a Richard LeCounte, a Monty Rice, you know, Jordan Davis, these guys who have experienced this frustration of being good but not great. And I think that that's the game that I look at and think, can they just catch Alabama, who maybe in those first 3 games, kind of sells itself on maybe being a little bit better than it is, and maybe that offense isn't quite at the level that it was at last year, and that Georgia defense can actually do some things. Kirby Smart is going to be game planning for that one weeks and weeks in advance. He probably already has been doing stuff to prepare for that Alabama offense. So I think that's the one time where no matter who's starting at quarterback for Georgia, I think that with what they have on defense, they could stack up and be able to hang with Alabama. Because they've been so close the last 2 times. I mean, they've been either tied or leading for the vast majority of those games. And I think it's a matter of time, and Georgia's time finally could be this game in Tuscaloosa, which, by the way, not going to have a typical home crowd. Might be a good time to go steal one on the road.
That's a good point. Real quick before we let you go, we talked earlier in the show, there's not the big marquee sexy matchup to get the SEC season kicked off with. You got some good games, don't get me wrong.
I think Kentucky-Auburn's fascinating, though.
That's a good matchup. Mississippi State LSU's a good matchup. What's your game of the week this week, Connor?
Kentucky-Auburn. That's the one I can't wait for. I'm really excited to see what Mark Stoops has coming back for that team this year. A team that, in my opinion, if you're just looking at them from a preseason standpoint, what they have on paper is better than that 2018 team. More depth, especially on the defensive side of the ball, more established pieces in that ground game, 3 legitimate all-SEC guys on that offensive line, the return of Terry Wilson. I'm really excited for what we're going to see from Kentucky. And as Arkansas fans know all too well, Chad Morris is going to be on that Auburn sideline, and he's going to be calling plays. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes of that. And I know that Arkansas fans are going to want to tune in for that one as well before the Georgia game. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what maybe Bo Nix can do in year 2 and what will be a new play caller as well. But I think that's the matchup that there's no way that spread, in my opinion, should be nearing double digits. I think Kentucky's going to win that game straight up just because of what I think they have in the trenches. But, yeah, that's kind of the non-sexy but also sneaky sexy game of the week in the SEC, if you can call it that.
I don't know if you're aware of this, Connor, but there's been a run on vegetables to throw at television sets for that Kentucky-Auburn game around here. Good luck finding a tomato in any of your farmers markets around Northwest Arkansas. Hey, before we let you go, you ever seen the movie Reservoir Dogs?
I've only seen the end of it, and I feel like that's the worst possible part to see because there's a lot there's a lot of violence at the end of that movie, but I haven't sat down and watched all of it.
There is. Well, the reason I bring it up is there's a line by Steve Buscemi's character. His name is Mr. Pink in the movie. He says he's talking about waitresses, why he doesn't leave tips for them. I mean, that's one reason for a guy not to make it through the movie alive, right? He says, this is the world's smallest violin playing for the waitresses. I would like to take out the word waitresses and put in Nebraska. So, yeah, guys, we don't care if you got Ohio State or Penn State on your schedule. Arkansas still has the toughest schedule in the history of college football. And for Nebraska to be complaining as much as they did for the last month and now to say, no, we wanted a Big Ten schedule, just not that one. There's not a violin any smaller in the world that we can play for the Cornhuskers.
Bill Moose needs to take some advice from Hunter Yurachek. That's what I think he needs to do with the Nebraska AD. Listen to Hunter Yurachek, how you talk about his schedule and being ready for the challenge. Nebraska could use a little bit of that right now.
I think so, too. Connor, enjoy some football this weekend. We'll talk about it Monday.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
You got it. That's Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South. As I kind of hear in the background there, is that...
That's from the opening credits scene, remember?
Is right that some ear-slicing music that I hear right there? No, that's not quite the ear-slicing stuff. It was close. Could you imagine, not watching any of Reservoir Dogs until watching the last scene of all the scenes? Goodness gracious. That's craziness. All right, come back after the break, and I've got to point out these Falcons for you, these the Dumas of the week, because we're going to have some fun with this. Got a new open for it. That's coming up next. Stay tuned on Halftime.
Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741.
The fall weather is on the way, and now is the time to transform your backyard into an oasis with Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. You know, it's not too late in the year to let Burton Pools and Spas transform that space in your backyard that you've always dreamed about, entertaining friends and family and all your guests with a great in-ground or above-ground pool or a great hot spring spa. Maybe you've even thought about one of the endless pools which allow you for year-round swimming. They have everything you need at Burton Pools and Spas. Semi-in-ground Doughboy pools right now start at $99.97 and upgrade for free to a robotic cleaner valued at $600. I mentioned the endless pools by Hot Springs. It allows great year-round swimming and year-round exercise. See those at Burton Pools and Spas. Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They're your source for backyard fun.
You have work to do. You need a tractor that helps get it done. TYM has the full range of tractors designed to meet the task. With the TYM easy-to-use controls and features, switching from one job to another is easy. And with the full range of models from 19 horsepower to 105 horsepower turbo, there's a TYM tractor that's right for the job and for you. But you can't buy a TYM tractor just anywhere. It's only sold at authorized TYM dealers like Bush Tractor, 7301 South Zero, Fort Smith.
906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, now open Tuesday through Saturday. Still serving all the 906 specialty items, with new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, dine in or carry out, wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails and cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels more like a destination, following all of the state guidelines in a state-of-the-art air filtration system for your safety. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open Tuesday through Saturday at 4 p.m.
Braden RV's 2020 blowout sale was a huge success, and now they need more trailers. Due to the massive shortage in good, clean, pre-owned RVs, they will pay top dollar for your RV. So if you don't get to use your RV as much as you like, don't worry. Braden RV's here to buy it, or they can even consign it for you. They also have the newest models from Thor, Forest River, Coachman, and many more arriving daily. They can take care of you on your service needs, and for the month of September, get 10% off all parts and accessories. The best camping weather is just around the corner, so stop by Braden RV on Alma Highway in Van Buren and start living your best life today. See dealer for details.
Hello, sports fans. I know you are ready for sports to return. Hi, this is Sherry Traylor with Floyd Traylor Honda, and we have been proud to be your local hometown dealer for over 43 years. Come out and see us at 3200 South Zero Street and see all of our models we have in stock. Or give us a call at 479-434-5975. And you can check out our full inventory online at trailerhonda.net. And remember to please buy local.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
High drive, way back into right field. You can kiss that one goodbye. That cleared the video board. Heston Kjerstad with a grand slam. Kind of squeeze a couple of things together here all at the same time because you got Monday Night Football tonight, thank goodness. 50th anniversary of Monday Night Football. That's amazing. It is the longest running television show in TV history, I believe. You know, outside of, I guess, like CBS Evening News or whatever like that. I think it's been on longer than 60 Minutes, longer than SNL. Yeah. Monday Night Football, of course, now on ESPN, not ABC.
It is being simulcast tonight, though.
I know they're putting it on ESPN2 as well because, I mean, you've got these different style of telecasts that, I mean, remember, what was it, last week, the week before, New England Sports Network, like, had somebody talking over a home run call, selling a drink from a coffee shop or something. That's some of the ridiculous stuff. But I know on the Deuce, they've got Reese and Herb Street together. By the way, Herb Street, I thought, last week for the he did the Monday night game with the Giants and Steelers.
They did great.
He was outstanding. I mean, he sounds like somebody who's been doing NFL games for as long as he's been in college games. So they're going to do that sort of new style telecast where people just drop in and out of the booth, virtual, more interview-based than it is analysis-based or, accuracy of what you're watching based. Absolutely. More about, just the conversation that's built around it. But it'll be a little bit of a different Monday night feel. I guess they still play the song. And so that mixes us into the next thing we wanted to get to, which we have repackaged and renamed our segment for the stupidest thing that we could see or hear each week. I think you'll enjoy it. And so here it is. This is our Alexander Dumas of the week, and it is the 5 Atlanta Falcons that just watch that football spin away.
And I was
SmackDown.
And I was wondering what Dumas would make of all this.
Come again.
Alexander Dumas. He wrote The Three Musketeers.
Are you stupid or something?
Oh, no.
And I was wondering what Dumas would make of all this.
Come again.
Alexander Dumas. He wrote The Three Musketeers.
Are you stupid or something?
Are you stupid?
I don't think so, no. Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid?
Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.
What we're supposed to do, you moron?
Calm down. Have some dip.
Are you crazy or just plain stupid?
Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
So you're a smart man who said some really stupid things.
Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas.
Dumas. You know what that's about?
We're talking about our idiot kicker who got liquored up and ran his mouth off.
You're so stupid!
Wow.
Now, seriously, how long do you play football over the course of your life to know the onside kick rule? I think that didn't the NFL almost change the onside kick rule over the summer? Oh. There was supposed to be, I think they voted on this. There was going to be an option that instead of running an onside kick, you'd be able to try a 4th and 15 from your own 25-yard line. So I wonder if the Cowboys would have tried that, or if they would have just expected that 5 Atlanta Falcons, including one that went to Yale, for crying out loud, did not know the rules and just figured they would stare at a spinning football as it went 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yards before a stream of Cowboys jump on the football, realizing they know the rules a heck of a lot better than Dan Quinn's Atlanta Falcons do.
Now, isn't there a rule?
I mean, seriously now.
Now, isn't there a rule? I don't think it's in pro football, but isn't it in college football? Obviously, the kicking team cannot touch it until it goes 10 yards, obviously. Yeah. Isn't there a rule in college football that you can't do the same for the receiving team?
The receiving team I don't know about college football. I just know about pro football here. Now, I was a little confused because Zerline said he thought that the Falcons weren't allowed to touch the ball until 10 yards.
I remember that
Cowboys
that rule is somewhere.
That can't.
Yeah.
It's the kicking team that must wait 10 yards. Otherwise,
Correct.
a flag is thrown.
Right.
Then a flag is thrown. The receiving team can jump on the football the moment that it's off of Zerline's foot. They just can't approach the ball any closer to 10 yards. So, and it wasn't just one of them. It wasn't just two of them. Ricardo Allen, Olamide Zaccheaus, or I hope I said his name right, Jaden Graham, the unfortunate fellow that went to Yale, Hayden Hurst, former South Carolina Gamecock, and DeMonte Kazee. This was guys on the hands team, by the way, wide receivers, tight ends. That was the group that watched that football just dribble right in front of them like a baby drooling after a bottle of milk. I mean, you could not have imagined a stupider way to set yourself up to lose a game. So these 5 Atlanta Falcons, have they read the Three Musketeers? Do they know who wrote the Count of Monte Cristo? They need to. Alexander Dumas of the week.
Can we just give you a round of applause, though, for that was an incredible intro. That was really good.
Well, it's what happens when you really don't have much else going on in life, and you're sitting at a baseball park watching a team scrimmage, and you can't go down on the field to actually watch them up close, and so they got a laptop up. What can I do? This sounds like fun.
Alexander Dumas of the week.
You can find almost any song in kazoo version if you look hard enough. Kazoos make everything so much better.
And it fits perfectly what we're trying to portray here. So,
which is what?
Well,
Idiocy.
we can't say what we used to say. So we retired the previous intro. It's in the Radio Hall of Fame because it was a great run. It was a great one-show run that intro ran. So we'll see if we can get over the one for this one.
So, and what I'm going to have to make sure is that we just play that once a week. No more than that. Then it'll just get a little bit. It'll just get a little bit old.
There's a lot that can. There's a lot that can happen in a week. So
there are a lot of stupid things that can happen in the next 5 days. You're
absolutely,
right.
Yeah. So,
you're right. I don't think any stupider than what just happened yesterday, though.
Oh, you're putting too much. You're too much faith in humanity here, Phil Elson.
I have no faith in humanity.
That's what I'm saying.
How much time have you spent doing this show with me? I have zero faith in humanity whatsoever these days. So do we need a rule that I shouldn't do a Dumas of the Week on Mondays? We should just leave it to the end of the week. I guess I was too eager to play that little piece.
We should have talked about that picture. We'll talk about it in 3 Up, 3 Down at the end of the show. My little town had their Alexander Dumas of the Week at their convenience store. My God.
Someone needs a spelling dictionary for a marquee, right? All right, we're going to go to the second hour here on Halftime, joined by Nate Olson for a chat on some high school football. Stay tuned.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7. RandallFord.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Our weather overnight looks fair, clear skies and low 60s. For tomorrow, we'll start off with sunshine and we'll hit the mid-70s by afternoon. Slight chance of a late day shower. Scattered showers on Monday night, and then a few showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Shop local, eat local, be local. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
It's what I always listen to.
You guys are awesome, baby. You have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Second hour halftime on a Monday. Guess what just came across here? And I guess we should have expected it. Right as Sam Pittman is beginning his Zoom press conference with, I don't think it's just Arkansas media. You're going to have Georgia media, other media that cover college football that want to get some insight from the head Razorback coach. You know what else we have? And this was, remember we asked this, we mentioned this on Friday after Coach Pittman joined us for what I thought was a great conversation here on halftime. Like the one thing we didn't have, the one thing we now have, it is a depth chart. It has been released.
Yes.
There is a chart of depth for Arkansas on both sides of the football. Just another sign that the season is right here amongst us. For a moment, I wondered if everybody would have to be, Jim Harbaugh this year and say, nah, not going to do that old depth chart thing. But here it is.
Hey, at least there's not an or at the quarterback position.
Oh, my gosh.
There's ors at a couple other spots, but there's no or at quarterback.
No QB1A, no QB1B. You do have KJ Jefferson as your backup, so there's,
That's fine.
I guess you're like quarterback breaking news. He beat out Malik Hornsby for that position. Although, from what Sam Pittman told us on Friday, that can't be a surprise. He mentioned Jefferson as one of the standouts from camp in a surprisingly good way. All right, so that's something we definitely need to break down as we go throughout this last hour on halftime. But we've got Nate Olson joining us. He is one of the co-hosts of the Fearless Friday, the Friday night scoreboard show right here on ESPN Arkansas and our affiliate in Northwest Arkansas, ESPN 99.5. Nate, 3 weeks of the season are complete. How are you doing?
Doing great. Glad to be talking about football, high school football, and a few cancellations every week, but we're hanging in there.
What was canceled last week? How many games? I put you on the spot there, but how many games?
Yeah, there were four. And I don't have them all right in front of me. I know one of them was DeWitt and Stuttgart. They were scattered around the state among the classes. Northside got back into action, went to Moore, Oklahoma, and won. They had to cancel their game the week before. But if you remember that Harbor game or Greenwood game that they were supposed to play, then they played Harbor, but Northside did not play that week, but then rebounded. So they're getting through it, and they're doing it with a limited number of spectators, although there was a pretty good number of fans in the stands for the Bryant game, and we'll get to that in a minute. But they sold about 100 tickets at the local Big Red convenience store here, and then other tickets were dealt to the players, families, and band and cheerleaders. So I know some people that were there. They said it was a decent crowd. I saw some pictures. There was actually more people there than I thought, and it was quite loud. I watched the game on stream, and it was a pretty good atmosphere. We'll get to that in a minute. But, yeah, this has been, to me, a surprise that we've gotten this far, really. And when I talked about this in July, I didn't even know if we'd get through the month of September, and we're almost through it. So that's good. People wearing their masks, socially distanced. The administrators and coaches are taking this very seriously. So it's so far so good. Just a few blips, but otherwise pretty good.
I guess the headlines from the weekend would be Arkansas teams did very well playing out of state against teams out of Texas. I saw Pulaski County beat a team out of Pulaski Academy beat a team out of Virginia, Oklahoma as well. So this is great for the state of Arkansas as far as comparing the level of football here to some of the states surrounding us. What stood out to you as far as Arkansas teams beating out of state teams?
Well, what stood out to me was that they were great teams they beat. It's one thing to play. There's one particular team, Missouri, that's made the rounds here that isn't very good. It's one thing to beat them, Springfield area team, but it's another when like Bentonville goes to Shawnee, Kansas, it's a suburb of Kansas City, and beats Mill Valley 35-28. So that's 3 out-of-state non-conference games, including Rockhurst the week before, or the game before, which is also a perennial power in Kansas City. A really impressive game. Mill Valley is defending state champion there, and they Bentonville needed a 10-play, 80-yard drive that was capped off by Josh Ficklin crashing into the end zone 5 yards out. That was late in the game. That was the go-ahead score. Then Johnny Anderson sealed it with an interception in the red zone. So Bentonville played really, really good. And that was a hard-fought win against a really good team. So that stands out a lot. And you're kind of looking to see what is the gap between Bryant, North Little Rock, and Bentonville. Bryant's the clear-cut number one, but what is the gap? And could one of those teams beat them? North Little Rock is athletic enough to, and Bentonville, I think, is strong enough to. And I don't know about the speed, but when you go to Mill Valley and win, and you're 3-0, that looks good and looks good for the state. And then what Bryant did to Trinity Christian, and really from the beginning dominated them. And I was watching the game with my son JD, 11 years old, and I said, I don't know Jackson State will want prime time after the way he's called his first half. Really not a very good strategy against that Bryant defense, but they made some adjustments in the second half and came out roaring. And Shadur Sanders, Deion's son, really, really put on a show in the second half. And Bryant, I think the one thing that they would take away from this, they won 44-40, but I think the one thing they take away from it is that they need to be a little bit more sure tackling in that second half. Now, Sanders is hard to tackle. He's one of the best players in the country, but they had some issues with that, but they overcame it, and they got behind in the game, and Austin Ledbetter led them on a drive at the end of the ball game. He looks really great. He's a baseball commit to the University of Arkansas, but Phil, I think he could be a Division I quarterback, and I vote in the Landers Award. I would think that that's his award to lose right now, the way Bryant plays, a 20-game winning streak. He makes play after play, and he ran for about 10 yards into the end zone, scrambled in for the go-ahead score, and then they were able to get Sanders to throw an incomplete pass on a drive to end it, so the defense responded too. So that was great. I think everybody that called in the show was all celebrating each other, that Arkansas football looked really good. I've said for a long time that per capita, Arkansas is one of the most talented high school football states in the country and one of the most underrated. It's just they're smaller. It's a smaller sample size. We have smaller towns and smaller population, but great talent, and the coaching here is fantastic. You could take a lot of these coaches and put them anywhere in the country, and they'd win ball games.
Speaking to Nate Olson here on halftime, Nate, I want to go back to Bryant just for a second. I mean, you mentioned last week how big a victory against Trinity Christian would be for Bryant as far as becoming like that kind of a national brand, kind of in the same breath with Pulaski Academy, just being in that upper echelon of national high school programs. Did that victory, just like you said, they dominated the first half. You say what you will about the second half, they still came away with the 44-40 victory. Did that put Bryant in the national scale?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, because, there were several outlets. I was there for the pregame, and, there were several regional outlets that covered this game, Overtime, and different groups, media people from around the region that covered this. So, yes, it will definitely help the reputation. And Deion Sanders was very complimentary of Bryant coaching staff and the players that he said they really prepared for us. and worked hard, and there were some things that we need to work on after watching or seeing this game and, going back and eventually watching the film. So, yes, whenever Sanders is saying those kinds of things and the coverage, it's a big feather in their cap. They've won 20 straight games, and I think the momentum and the coverage and the publicity for them is only going to get greater if they can continue to win, and they would get closer to this. They keep the streak going and get closer to a three-peat championship opportunity.
Got a text in here. This comes from JP in Alma. He's wanting to see if you could give us a quick preview of the Van Buren game happening this weekend. They're traveling to Siloam Springs this weekend. What you got a quick preview for Van Buren versus Siloam?
Well, I think that those are two surprise teams that have both played well so far that maybe a lot of teams wouldn't expect, or people wouldn't have expected that. I think it was Siloam beat Harrison, and their radio broadcasters were complimentary of them. And so I think that's a big game as far as, teams trying to get in the playoffs. Both of them are trying to get into that upper echelon. They're kind of upstart teams in that league. And so I've been impressed with both of them. I think one of them has a chance to kind of shock some teams there, and I'd probably give the edge to Crosby Tuck's group. I think they've got a little bit more talent, and he's been able to kind of continue the system and the growth that Casey Dick had, and kind of get that torch passed. And so I think Van Buren is going to surprise a few people, and this game should be good though.
You look at some other games that are on tap for this week or this coming Friday night. You start conference playing most of the conferences this week. You got Harbor taking on Bentonville. You got Fort Smith Northside taking on Bryant. Little Rock Catholic at Cabot. You got some good lower classification games. My BB Badgers, who haven't won a game yet, but they take on Little Rock Hall this Friday. What are some games? Yep. What are some games of the week for Nate Olson this week?
Sure, yeah. One of them for sure is Bentonville West at Fayetteville, and I had that marked on the calendar for a while because I think when you're talking about the Central and the West, you've got in the Central Bryant entrenched at the top, and probably North Little Rock right behind him in the West. You've got Bentonville, and then you've got a couple of cluster of teams that are trying for that, maybe to challenge Bentonville, but maybe the second, third, and fourth spots, and they're kind of jumbled together. So I feel like this game is one of those that whoever comes away with it is going to have a better chance to contend with Bentonville and have that opportunity to be in that upper echelon. The thing that I want to keep an eye on with Fayetteville is there's some COVID cases there. The school did announce that. And so I don't know how that's going to affect. I mean, the game is still on. I assume it is. But how that will affect them and their personnel and who's all going to be there. They were a little banged up anyway, injury-wise. So that could be a really big game. I hope Fayetteville can be at full strength so we see a good game there. And Fayetteville 0-3, they've kind of got some negative momentum going there now with the sickness. Need to rebound to get ready for the conference. I've also got the Harbor-Bentonville game pretty big. I think Harbor hasn't played as well as they can, and they need to get that going Friday night because Bentonville is really playing well, as we mentioned. And another couple games in 6A, Parkview at Greenwood. This is probably Parkview's biggest game since like the '83 when Keith Jackson played there and they were playing for state championships. Brad Boulding feels very, very good about this group, and they've got Landon Rogers, a quarterback who's an Arkansas commit. They're very talented. Greenwood has a very good defense, but their top two quarterbacks were injured. One, LD Richmond was hurt going into the game, and Hunter Houston, who came in for him, got hurt. So they're a little banged up. Their defense played really good. So that's probably the biggest game for Parkview, like I said, since the 80s. If they win that game, you have to think that they are a state championship contender. So they're really keyed up for that. And then a team we haven't mentioned much, but I want to, is Mountain Home. They snapped a 23 or 4 game losing streak and 2 weeks ago, and then won again against Batesville. They play at Lake Hamilton, and Lake Hamilton, a team that's been in the top 5 all year in preseason, mentioned maybe as a state championship contender. A run-oriented team that could, kind of go against them when you play a Benton or Greenwood because they're high octane, but they have a pretty good defense. Saw them play on TV the other night against Hot Springs. This will be a big litmus test for Mountain Home. They feel like they've kind of turned a little bit of the corner, but this is going to be a big test for them. And, how good are they? They've got the new coach from Missouri. He's definitely implemented some better offense. They had over 500 yards last week, but this will be a stiff test. But I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And I know the Mountain Home people would just be elated if they could win this game after so much losing.
Man, Nate, that's as thorough as an Encyclopedia Britannica entry. Well
Yes.
done, as always. Look forward to Friday's show and having you on Monday next week.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Nate.
You got it. You got it. By the way, for those who just heard those words for the first time, there used to be these books, these very large books that we would buy, 26 of them,
Yes.
one for each letter.
Okay.
And this was essentially like a Wikipedia thing that was published in
Really?
actual print form.
And
you couldn't go back and edit these entries
an
after you bought
encyclopedia?
these things, called an encyclopedia.
Oh.
There was one that was Britannica, there was one that was World Book, and you're never going to see these things ever again for as long as you live. You do need to go to hitthatline.com, enter to win a Traeger Ironwood 650 pellet grill valued at $1,199, right in time for football season. Just go to hitthatline.com, click on the Traeger grill button, fill out the entry form, boom, you're entered. You can enter through Friday. The winner's announced on the Morning Rush, and go to bradstv.com to find the full line of Traeger grill spices, pellets, and accessories. And if you buy a Traeger grill from Brad's from now through Saturday, you get a free Traeger grill cover at $80 value. More halftime after the break.
Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
At Frank Furniture, everything is on sale. Why order when you can have it today? We carry refrigerators, French doors, GE washers and dryers, 100% made in the USA, speed clean laundry, gas cold top and smooth top ranges, dishwashers, mattresses, recliners, big man recliners, lift chairs, sofa and loves, recliner sofa and loves, beds, chests, dressers, mirrors, nightstands, headboards, and table and chairs. Your one-stop store for all your furniture and appliances. Frank Roll Furniture, best seats in the house.
A little girl asked me one time, Pastor, does the devil have a mother? I was shocked by her deep question and thought for a second. Yes, he does. Her name is pride. The devil fell because of a rebel yell of pride. The Bible says pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. Pride really is the mother of all sins and will take you on a dark ride. There's nothing more devilish than being rebellious. I'm Pastor Heath. Check us out at woodlandpeople.church.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Kyocera Document Solutions dealer. White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. Get amazing fast fiber internet, 100 megabits for only $49.95 per month, or 1 gigabit for only $79.95 per month. TV packages from the basics to our amazing altered TV, starting at $32.95. Fiber phone services start at $29.95. Go to waveruralconnect.com to find out if we are installing in your area, or call 1-833-4-WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7. RandallFord.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
1-2 pitch. Open swings. Hard shot. Through the right side. Base hit. Washington to third. He gets the green light. And the throw. Not in time. Hogs win. The Razorbacks finish the sweep of Missouri. And that's how you do a Sunday at Baum Stadium.
All right, we don't only have a depth chart for Arkansas football. We got game notes, too. So
yes.
The information is coming. These just released 20 minutes ago as Sam Pittman speaks to media on the Zoom press conference. Want to go through this depth chart because this is something we've been talking about for pretty much the last few months. We will let you know that we have secured for tomorrow Chuck Barrett, voice of the Razorbacks, joining us at 12:30. We'll have Nikki joining us as usual at 11:30. Wednesday, Tara Talmadge, who is not only part of the Pig Trail Nation, but now is also on ESPN. Tara will be handling the sideline duties for the telecast on Saturday with Dave Neal and DJ Shockley broadcasting the game. I'm not sure if those guys are going to be on site or if they're at a different location. I know a lot of the broadcasts now are being done from home. Like our friend Tom Hart has a full home press box set up that we'll have to ask him about at some point. But I know Tara will be on the field on Saturday, so she'll be joining us on Wednesday to preview the game. And
be interesting.
I'm excited for Tara, too. I mean, I know she's done some of the ESPN Plus telecast, but this is actually on the linear telecast. And it's a nice break for Tara. Good luck.
I'm anxious to talk to her, too, just about, like, the differences that she's having to prepare for, like, where she's done past stuff with ESPN Plus and different events versus now with COVID. What is she going to be able to do? It'll be fun to kind of get her perspective on what's fixing to change for her coming game one.
All right, so let's see here. Let's get into this depth chart. So, I mean, you knew who your quarterback was going to be the day that Felipe Franks announced his transfer to Arkansas. There was literally zero intrigue behind that. And I know it's just nice to know that you have a designated starting quarterback, a real QB1.
And no or.
Like it's been 2 years in a row. You saw the or. And hey, look, there was never a moment that any quarterback in the last 2 years took the field that you thought that there shouldn't have been an or. So, I mean, there is that to it. So, good news, Ricky Stromberg is listed as the starting center. So that must mean he's recovered and is back and will be there. As the anchor on the offensive line, Ty Clary is the second string center. Brady Latham, who has been called the nastiest of any of the Razorbacks by Sam Pittman during practice. Like, how many fights has he started or gotten involved in? I guess that's in a very good way. Latham will be just to Stromberg's left. Myron Cunningham starting left tackle. Bo Limmer at right guard. And Dalton Wagner at right tackle. I think I got Limmer and Latham confused as far as the nastiness is concerned. Like, I mean, they both have their initials are BL, so I'm not going to be the only one that has that problem.
I just did a quick average here. Your offensive line, average total pound, like we always talk like the big offensive line when Bielema was here. I believe it came out to about 1,400 pounds, but your average line size this year, according to who's starting, is 296.
And
I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but I mean, what do you recall? What offhand? What the Bielema when Pittman was here when the offensive line was just stout? Was it 310?
I mean, I forget the year, but there was the year where Arkansas had the heaviest offensive line in college football. It matched up with sort of what you would see in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're nowhere near that. I mean, that's one of the issues that you've dealt with from going from this supposed desired smash mouth mentality of Bielema's to the slim down lineman under Chad Morris. It isn't really just the philosophies that's behind what these coaches wanted, but it's also the physical nature of the players that you recruit to those positions and the way that you want them to build their bodies or break them down a little bit. So, yeah, that's definitely one thing, and they're going to need to be. Hey, you don't get heavier as the season goes on, right? That's an unfortunate thing. Well, the defense when we have a chance, but after the break, we're scheduled to have Quinn Grovey, who's going to have a very interesting football season. We'll get into that after the break, but first, don't forget about the Hardee's Lunch Bunch. You can enter at hitthatline.com.
You can head there today. We'll announce another winner this coming Thursday here on Halftime. Like Phil said, head to hitthatline.com. Click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch button. Leave us your info, and we'll select a winner this Thursday. Receive a Hardee's lunch for your office group, your work friends, anybody at where you work. You can take care of them for lunch. You could be the best guy or the best gal that workplace has ever seen because you just got them Hardee's for lunch. That's only at hitthatline.com, and that's courtesy of your friends at Hardee's in Northwest Arkansas and in the River Valley.
Quinn Grovey, Razorback Sports Network, former quarterback at Arkansas, and yes, a legend on Halftime next.
Build your business with 100% fiber, internet, voice, and cloud services from Ritter Communications. Whether you're a one-man woodworking shop who needs fast, reliable internet complete with TV service, or you're a construction enterprise needing managed voice and networking to connect your multiple sites, our helpful, Arkansas-based team will create a custom solution for you. Visit RitterBusiness.com or give them a call at 888-336-4249 to learn more.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Woo woo! Beat up sauce alert! 4 new sauces just hit the menu. Listen closely for the lineup. Player 1, pizza sauce. The game day decision of pizza versus wings is now easier than ever. Player 2, lemon pepper. Yep, that's right. Now it's a sauce too. Player 3, orange sauce. Served with a fortune cookie on the side. And lastly, coming in hot, Carolina Reaper. This sauce just moved up to captain, taking over as Beat Up's new blazing sauce. Locations in Little Rock, Fort Smith, Sherwood, Jonesboro, and Conway. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Now that summer's almost over and the kids are back in school, make it a September to remember by getting that nicer, newer car you've been wanting at Rath Auto Resources. Hi folks, Larry Rath here, and I'm making it easy with discounts up to $4,300 on our great selection of Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and reconditioned in our Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, with used cars in short supply, I'll be giving up to $3,200 extra for trade-ins. Even if you're still making payments, we can help you get into your nicer, newer car now at Rath Auto Resources. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center. We've become one of the top centers in the country by taking care of our customers and their cars better than anyone over the last 9 years, and by offering great deals like buy 3, get 1 free on all tires and a basic oil change starting at only $24.95. Don't wait any longer. Make it a September to remember with a nicer, newer car from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
The fall weather is on the way, and now is the time to transform your backyard into an oasis with Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. You know, it's not too late in the year to let Burton Pools and Spas transform that space in your backyard that you've always dreamed about, entertaining friends and family and all your guests with a great in-ground or above-ground pool or a great hot spring spa. Maybe you've even thought about one of the endless pools which allow you for year-round swimming. They have everything you need at Burton Pools and Spas. Semi-in-ground Doughboy pools right now start at $99.97 and upgrade for free to a robotic cleaner valued at $600. I mentioned the endless pools by Hot Springs. It allows great year-round swimming and year-round exercise. See those at Burton Pools and Spas. Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They're your source for backyard fun.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Matt Jones rolling out of the bootleg. Fake. He's at midfield. He's at the 40. He's at the 30 of Texas. The 20. The 10. Matt Jones is out of bounds at the half-yard line. Oh, my. What an incredible play call. And Jones, racing downfield, was finally pushed out of bounds after a 60-yard run.
Excited to bring on Quinn Grovey here to halftime. Quinn, of course, getting set to call the first Arkansas football game of the season as they battle against the Georgia Bulldogs Saturday at Reynolds Razorback Stadium. I think you're in Little Rock today, right, Quinn? What's going on?
No, actually, I changed my plans, but I was slated to play in the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame golf tournament at Chenal Country Club, but I changed my plans at the last minute, so I'm back in Fayetteville.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. So I found out something today that I am just excited about. And I want to get into previewing the team and what you think about the team and everything. But let me just let me give you a little premise for a reality show that I think might work really well. 5 guys pile in a bus to make road trips to SEC locales such as Gainesville, Florida, Starkville, College Station, Columbia, Auburn during a pandemic in order to broadcast a full slate of college football games to a hungry audience. Now, let me ask you, would you watch that show or are you going to live that show?
I'm going to do both. I'm going to live it, and I would watch it. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that's going to be amazing. I mean, you know, to be able to be with the crew, going to broadcast SEC games. There's going to be a lot of funny stuff on that bus. It really could be a great – if we had cameras following us, it really could be a great, great show. So I'm excited about being on with Chuck and Gino and Shu and everybody that's going to be there. So it'll be fun, man. I mean, you know, I'm just so excited about having football and then to be able to travel like a rock star. I mean, that just adds to it.
That is what it is. I mean, it's rock star stuff from what I understand. Yeah. You're going to have your own bed and everything, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, though, man. And, you know, I'll bring my PlayStation because I love to play Madden. I mean, we'll watch game film as we're traveling. I mean, we'll have a lot of fun. I mean, it's going to be good, and we'll be prepared.
I will pay you $100 if you teach Chuck how to play Madden and then actually get proof of him playing Madden. Can you do this, please?
No, hey, Chuck, over the course of the years, like when we gone on bowl trips and stuff, Chuck has seen me actually play Madden. I really consider myself one of the best Madden players out there.
Ooh.
I mean, so
that's fighting words. Oh my
God. Yeah. So I'm open to play anybody, anytime. I'm playing people online, and so if we want to get a game, whoever wants to get one, I'm down with it. I'm excited about it. It's hard to play a quarterback in Madden. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat.
You got that right.
Yeah, keep in mind this guy has a bit of an understanding of what it's like to play quarterback.
He ain't lying either. I have the same problems he's facing.
Quinn, let me ask you a simple question about this team. 6 days before the first game, give me a couple of things that you know about this Arkansas team that give you confidence. Not heading into the Saturday game against Georgia, but in what you think you might see in these upcoming 12 weeks.
Well, I mean, right off the bat, first of all, the coaching staff, this SEC schedule, being in the SEC, being at Arkansas, it's not too big for them. So that's the first thing. I mean, when you look at Sam Pittman, even though he's never been a head coach, he's been in the SEC. You look at his staff. I mean, Brad Davis, Derek LeBlanc, Scott Fountain. A lot of those guys have SEC experience. So first and foremost, it's not too big for him. Second, you got a quarterback that's played in big SEC games. I mean, so he's played against Georgia. Felipe's done a nice job. He's had a 10-win season and he's had a 4-win season. So you got a quarterback that really understands, what it's like to play in big games. So from that standpoint, I really think that when you look at Barry Odom, you look at Kendall Browse, you look at this coaching staff from top to bottom, and I spent a lot of time with this staff. We've done a lot of interviews with those guys, and just being around them, it's not too big. And then so being able to see a guy like Felipe come in, that was a big get. But Sam is doing a very nice job with this team. So I feel really good about the staff. I feel good about the quarterback. You pair him with Kendall Browse, who has a track record of developing quarterbacks, having success with guys regardless of their skill set. I think he'll be a good merge with Kendall Browse and Felipe Franks, and then you tie in the skill people. As long as nobody gets hurt, I really expect Arkansas to scare some people. Now, I don't know if you're going to see it actually in the win total, but I think you're going to see those guys actually play hard. I think you're going to see them be much better than what most people expect.
Speaking to former Razorback quarterback Quinn Grovey here on Halftime. Quinn, when you look at this Georgia defense and you look at that front seven, and we've spoke to many of people talking about this, it's probably and arguably probably the best front seven that they'll face all year. Do you think this offense, and particularly this offensive line, can – I don't think there's any way you can neutralize the Georgia defensive line, but can Arkansas do anything to try to combat that?
Well, it's nasty. I mean, the defensive line at Georgia is absolutely nasty. And when they lose people, they just have 2 or 3 guys, just like Alabama, waiting to come in and really hurt you. And to me, that's really the biggest difference between Arkansas and the upper echelon is the fact that they got 1 and 2 and 3 deep. Those guys are chomping at the bit for those other guys to graduate so they can get some playing time. That's what Georgia does. I mean, so that makes it difficult for you from that standpoint. But the thing about it is I think Arkansas is going to be better on the offensive line. I mean, you got Sam Pittman, you got Brad Davis. Sam Pittman was the best offensive line coach in America. Now he's a head coach. But you bring in a guy like Brad Davis, who Sam Pittman says is the best offensive line coach in the country. When you go back and take a look at the weight for the offensive linemen last year versus this year, I mean, those guys have put on some weight. 15, 20, 30 pounds. And so you're looking at an offensive lineman that whoever they start, it's going to be an average around 300 pounds. I mean, so that's a good deal. You also look at the fact that this offensive line was able to allow Rakeem Boyd to run for over 1,000 yards. Now, I know we're playing in a 10-game season, but I really expect Rakeem Boyd, he may not have as many yards because of 10 games, but I think his average will be higher than it was last year. So I expect that offensive line to be better. I expect the wide receivers to really be better. I expect to see those guys really take off. Rakeem Boyd is going to be extremely good, and then the defense is going to be better. So Barry Odom and Kendall Browse gives me a lot of confidence.
You bring up confidence. Is that where you're putting the most of your confidence, that while it may not show up on the season record or anything like that, being a 10-game SEC schedule, is it coaching is where you're putting your confidence, or where are you finding the confidence that this could potentially be I guess a successful year for Razorback football?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I like the staff. I mean, I like when you go through the staff one by one, that gives me confidence. I mean, and then you look at what they've done in a short period of time. If you're going to be successful in the SEC, you got to be able to recruit your tail off, and then you got to be able to coach them up and put together a staff. Sam Pittman has done both of those in a short period of time. And so I feel good about that. And when you look at this entire staff from top to bottom, I mean, I really don't see a weak link. Everybody has an understanding of what's going on. They understand what Sam wants to do. He wants to relate to kids. He wants to be able to recruit. So I think you've got that in place. So I feel good about this staff, and that's what really gives me the confidence. And then you get a guy like Felipe Franks. You get a guy like Levi Draper. You get a guy like Xavier Kelly. I mean, you were able to fill some pieces from a transfer standpoint that says, okay, as you move forward, Felipe said, I'm going to go to Arkansas. David Kelly from Clemson said, I'm going to Arkansas. Levi Draper from Oklahoma says, I'm going to Arkansas. So that's a foundation and a win for this program, in my opinion, that allows you to go out and say, okay, we're going to go out and continue to recruit. Again, this is going to be, basically this is the toughest schedule in Arkansas history. And so it'll be fun. The thing I like about it is the players and the coaches have not shied away from it. So they get an opportunity to step out there, this Saturday. I'm excited about it. For me and my family, this is the holiday season, baby. It's like it's time to put up the Christmas tree.
Yes.
We're putting it up now. We're putting it up now, and we're going to roll the tree in through the fall. We're going to roll it into the holiday season. Love Christmas, one of my favorite holidays, and the football season for me starts off the holiday season.
There you go. I love it. I won't ask you for a prediction for this Saturday, but what's your emotions telling you for how this game could possibly play out this Saturday?
Man, look, when you look at it on paper, Georgia has supreme talent. 1, 2, and 3, and I think Arkansas is trying to get there. You look at Sam and Barry and Kendall, what they're trying to do is create a too deep. And so you run into situations where if you don't have the depth that a big-time team has, when you put in your second and third team guy, can they hold up? And that's usually where, big plays happen. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen Saturday. What I do know is they're going to be better on offense. They're going to be better on defense. You may not see it in the scoreboard, but you're going to see it in certain situations where they're fighting. You may see it in different stats where it's third and long, where they're dealing with, an offensive play or a defensive play. I think you're going to see in special teams there's going to be some opportunities to be better. But the thing about it is I think you're going to see them fight. As long as they're fighting and doing what they need to do, I think everybody understands that Sam Pittman has been dealt a hand. And, nobody's really going to say it, but the thing about it is they've said, look, we're going to fight through this. Whoever put that schedule together at the SEC office, they couldn't have done it with a straight face. They were sitting in a room. They couldn't have been like, hey, man, this is fair for everybody. But the Arkansas Razorbacks said, we don't care. We get an opportunity to have 10 games and spoil somebody's party. And I think that's the mindset that they're taking.
Last thing, Quinn. You know what it's like to be on the field and have a crowd get you fired up and, the band doing what they do and the cheers and everything and the cheerleaders and the pomp and the circumstance. I guess if there's one thing that stands out for me just watching NFL games over the weekend, aside from the games and the injuries, it's the lack of the atmosphere. And I wonder, does that make it difficult at all to get up for the game in a way that you're used to getting up for the game? The atmosphere, I think, does whip players into some certain of a frenzy. Maybe they can do it themselves. Does the atmosphere's difference make any difference to the players on the field?
Yeah, I think it will. There's no doubt about it. A Saturday with all the pageantry, the tailgating, it's a different animal. So you're not going to be able to have that. But you're going to have some fans in the stands. And the one thing I know about the fans that will be there, they're going to be just as loud as anybody out there. I've watched some games where there hadn't been fans in the stands. And, it's been great to see college football, but it's just been a little bit different. And so I think everybody really understands that this is a crazy year. Everybody's going to have to roll with it. But I do believe the fans that will be in the stands will be extremely vocal, extremely loud. And the fact that, hey, I'm getting an opportunity to play football, play the game that I love, I think is really critical. And I think everybody will be excited about it. We hadn't had football, or we hadn't had sports in 6 months. And so the Razorback faithful everything is pent up. So I expect people to be the people in the stands to be crazy, and the people that are not in the stands at home watching it on TV to have a great time because Razorback football is back.
Well, and you'll be cool, calm, and collected and sound great, just like always, on the broadcast with Chuck and the guys. We can't wait to get this thing started, Quinn. Thanks for your time, man. Appreciate it.
All right, Phil, man. You guys take care.
Absolutely. Quinn Grovey, legendary Razorback quarterback, one of the stars of this unnamed reality show. Think about that now. They're putting the broadcast team on a tour bus for all the road games. They can't fly with the football team the way they usually do. They are busing to all the road games.
That'd be a lot of fun to be a part of.
I've been a part of some bus road trips. It hasn't been 5 guys. It's been 35 guys. I think the 5 guys is a little bit more fun. It's nice to have room. But, man, that is a much different way to broadcast than ever before. So I can't wait to hear what those stories are like. And, yes, I would subscribe to that show in a moment's notice. Get a chance to wrap up the show with 3 Up, 3 Down. And, well, you already know one of them is going to be my Pittsburgh Pirates. They're so bad, they're good. Can't wait. Right back after the break to wrap it up with a cherry on the top. Don't go anywhere.
Kubota and Gray Brothers have teamed up to bring you special pricing on all Kubota cab tractors to help you keep cool during your hay baling and brush hogging activities. And if you're looking at cleanup from the recent storms, try Kubota's skid steers and excavators with special pricing and low-term financing. Now's the time for a new Kubota at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told ya. Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beers. Beer in Texas. St. Louis, Missouri.
Hello, sports fans. I know you are ready for sports to return. Hi, this is Sherry Traylor with Floyd Traylor Honda, and we have been proud to be your local hometown dealer for over 43 years. Come out and see us at 3200 South Zero Street and see all of our models we have in stock. Or give us a call at 479-434-5975. And you can check out our full inventory online at trailerhonda.net. And remember to please buy local.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. It's a difficult time right now, and social distancing is vitally important. That's why I'm here to encourage you to keep running. It's a great way to exercise in solitude, build up your immune system, and keep from going stir-crazy. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more tips on how to take care of yourself during this time. And remember, just keep running. This has been brought to you by True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Breeden RV's 2020 blowout sale was a huge success, and now they need more trailers. Due to the massive shortage in good, clean, pre-owned RVs, they will pay top dollar for your RV. So if you don't get to use your RV as much as you like, don't worry. Breeden RV's here to buy it, or they can even consign it for you. They also have the newest models from Thor, Forest River, Coachman, and many more arriving daily. They can take care of you on your service needs, and for the month of September, get 10% off all parts and accessories. The best camping weather is just around the corner, so stop by Breeden RV on Alma Highway in Van Buren and start living your best life today. See dealer for details.
Are you ready to take the next step? Want to make real money? How about averaging $2,800 per week? United Welding Institute is accepting new students to shape into high-paid career welders. Graduates of United Welding Institute find great-paying jobs in the oil field, power plants, refineries, pipelines, and more. United Welding Institute in Pottsville, Arkansas has been training professional field-tested welders since 2013. Change your life and call 479-968-3390 or visit UnitedWeldingInstitute.com.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
Hey, I tell you what, you can take a good look at a butcher's ass by sticking your head up there, but wouldn't you rather take his word for it?
Don't do it.
That guy in a little coat. That guy in a little coat.
Don't.
That guy in a little coat. That guy in a little coat. Richard, what's happening?
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Have a smart speaker? Just say play ESPN Arkansas to listen to Halftime anywhere you go.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
Getting into 3 Up, 3 Down here to wrap the show up. 3 Up, 3 Down brought to you by Ritter Business Communications. Call them at 888-336-4249 or go to ritterbusiness.com. Ritter will be here to help your business succeed. Advanced business services with the fastest, most reliable technology on the market, high-speed internet, voice and cloud solutions, networking, TV service with 100% fiber network gets you up to 10 gigabits per second. And they have the customer care team that knows you by name, accessible 24/7. They check in with you instead of the other way around, and they are locally based right here in Arkansas, where Ritter was founded over a century ago. That's Ritter Business Communications, ritterbusiness.com, or 888-336-4249 to learn more. All right, I got my first up here, and it's pretty simple here, SmackDown. We got a Razorback depth chart, so we have a sense of who the starters are. Wanted to go through the defensive starters since we'd already mentioned the offensive starters. Dorian Gerald at the jack position on the defensive line, so he'll roam around a little bit. Xavier Kelly and Jonathan Marshall are your starting tackles, though there is an or. We do have an or on the depth chart for one of the tackle spots here, SmackDown, and that's the grad transfer Xavier Kelly with redshirt sophomore Isaiah Nichols. Although Julian Coates will start on the defensive end position. He's supposed to be a pretty big difference maker coming out of JUCO. 2 starting linebackers, Bumper Pool, Grant Morgan, Levi Draper, Andrew Parker back him up. 5 starters in the secondary, Jerry Jacobs, Jalen Catalon. It's starting strong safety. Joe Fouché, Mo Brown, cornerback, Greg Brooks Jr., your starting nickelback. And we found that you could go to the Razorback football account or go to ArkansasRazorbacks.com. We got this from Pig Trail Nation. The depth chart's out there because that's what happens after depth charts are released. They get out there. So that would be my first up today. First down, SmackDown, are for those who are complaining about College Game Day not picking an SEC game this weekend. Like, this is the first of 10. Make it 11 because there is an SEC championship game. And none of the marquee matchups are this weekend, so take it easy. Now, look, they're doing Florida State, Miami, and I understand that does not have the sex appeal that Florida State and Miami used to have. Mike Norvell might not even be coaching. Miami looks pretty good, though, the way De'Aaron King especially just tore up Louisville on
really
Saturday.
Well. Yeah.
He really did. So, I mean, I think that's a pretty decent game. I mean, the best option for the SEC would be Kentucky at Auburn, and I thought that's a good game. But, look, I just have a sense this year game day is going to be at the Iron Bowl just because. So I just couldn't imagine they'd be at Auburn and then being at the Iron Bowl again. They'll be at plenty of SEC games. I would say, no ACC Big 12 matchup is any better. Maybe Louisville-Pitt, top 25 matchup there, though Louisville, I think, could get blown out in that one. Maybe Army at Cincinnati, but to be quite honest, I think there are other things that are worth complaining about. In College Game Day, not choosing an SEC town isn't on the list. So that's my down to start things.
I'll go first down for me to start this thing off. I put this on my Twitter, and you can find this at @MattJenkins44 if you want to. A little small town of Floyd, Arkansas. Got less than 100 people. You can't expect much from 100 people. But at our local gas station, my grandpa used to own it back when I was a little kid. Since sold it, and it was since sold again here recently. Put the little arrow pointing marquee sign on half of the banner. It says non-ethanol fuel available. No problems there. The other side talks about he has a new fish dinner that's available. They got chicken and cheeseburgers and different things like that. You can look on there, and I'll just spell it to tell you here. They spelt burgers wrong on the marquee.
How'd they spell it?
Burgars.
But those are pirate burgers. Burgars.
I guess. Yeah. So down goes to I don't know who the new owner is of Moose's Country Store, but shout out to you for forgetting how to spell burgers.
I have a thing about purposely misspelling things. I don't think that was purpose. Like, I was happy when – shouldn't say this openly, when Toys R Us went out of business, I thought that's what you get for misspelling the word on purpose. Let's actually spell words properly, just because that's how you spell.
First up for me, and I'll make this my only up for today. I told you my weekend plan that I have for October. I've been a big monster truck fan when I was a kid, back when I was younger. They're having their first show October 24th and 25th down in Arlington, Texas at Cowboy Stadium, doing the big, and I'm thinking about making the trip down there, first getaway since the pandemic's happened. But then also started looking at the calendar. That weekend coincides with the World Series, which is at Globe
Light
Park.
bulb, bingo.
So as of now, there's no fans at the World Series. But if there was to be, go spend a Saturday or Friday night watching the World Series at Globe Life Field, and then go to the Monster Truck Saturday and be back Sunday. That's a heck of a good weekend.
So is the Monster Truck pull at AT&T, or is it the old Rangers Park?
No, it's at AT&T Stadium.
Okay. But, I mean, essentially next door anyway.
Next door anyway.
That would be perfect.
And the only reason I brought that up, because I was looking at the new hotel that I just blanked on the brain. Who's the play-by-play guy for the Rangers we had on? Mike?
Matt Hicks.
Matt Hicks, thank you. Sorry about that. But he was talking about the new Texas Live, and they've got a brand new hotel complex in that Texas Live. And I went to go look at rooms for that weekend, and they're all booked out. I was like, well, that's odd. The whole month of October booked out. Then I put two and two together from what we had talked about previously. So there's that for you. So all right, that's the plan right now.
Well, let me get into my second up and get the music. This is the way to bring in to finish the show. Certainly on the 21st of September. What's tonight? It's the 21st night of September. Hit it. That's right. I mean, we just played Earth, Wind, and Fire a couple of weeks ago. This is perfect, man. This is like one of the greatest dates of any of the 365 that you can have a date. 21st night of September, we're all going to be dancing, whether solo or with somebody special. Second down, any team that needed a quarterback and didn't sign Cam Newton. I mean, really? Look at some of the names that signed before Cam did. Joe Flacco, Geno Smith, Mike Glennon, A.J. McCarron, Jeff Driscoll, Colt McCoy, Case Keenum, Brian Hoyer, Chad Henne. Cam Newton looks like Cam freaking Newton used to look.
Does. Yeah.
He looks incredible, so that would be a down for me. Up, the Mango Habanero wings at B-Dubs are awesome, but I was warned against trying Carolina Reaper, or else I'm pretty much going to lose a whole layer of skin. Third down, how bad are the Pirates? I'll tell you how bad they are. All they need to do, since they've lost 12 of their last 13, they need to lose at least 4 of the next 7 games, and they will clinch at least 70% losing percentage. We can do this. And now for Matty T and SmackDown, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and